Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got a fall book haul for you. Alright, so today we are going to be going over all of the books that I have acquired recently or recently-ish, or since the last time I did a book haul video, which I think was in July, and I will have that linked up in the corner. Actually, this is probably filmed that in June, so this is probably from like about June-ish until November 1st. Alright, so there are quite a bit of books. I'm going to keep descriptions to a minimum, just so that this video isn't like an hour long. A lot of the ebooks that I have gotten, I do try to look for sales, as well as, when an indie author puts their book up for free for a few days. So if you guys are interested in finding like some of your favorite indie authors' books for free, keep an eye out for sales, watch their Instagrams, get on their newsletters, because they'll let you know when there's sales happening, that kind of stuff. And I did use Pango for this. This is not a sponsored video, but like Pango is a fantastic resource for finding used books. So yeah, let's go ahead and just dive right in. All right, so first up I have The Wicker King, which is a queer book about mental health, and it's very, very dark. I did read this already, and I DNF'd it at about 80 or so pages in, and it just wasn't my thing. So this one I do have currently listed up on my Pango if anybody's interested. All right, so next up I have A Hex for Hunger. This is the second book in the Rune Tithe series. This is following a necromancer and the trans knight that they resurrect to fight some evil. I'm really looking forward to this. It's kind of a little bit of horror romance, so yes please. Next up I have Bite Marks and Broken Hearts. This is a newer release. It's following a vampire and a human, and I believe one of them is a detective or like a private investigator, so I'm here for this. Next up I have In Repair. This one I have already read and loved. This is a new adult, very upper YA new adult-ish book, and it's about mental health and finding yourself in college and just trying to be yourself. This one got a 5 out of 5 stars, I think. This is one of my favorite books of the year, and it's one that I would highly, highly recommend. Next up I got Down a Twisted Path. This is a prequel novella short story in the Soulbound series. I have read this already and loved it, which leads into my next set of books that I got, which is books 2, 3, and 4 in the Soulbound series. Book 2 I have already read and loved, and book 3 is on my November TBR. This is a series that I just really, really, really enjoyed the first book, and become an obsession now, so I kind of need all of the books. But this series is one that I would highly, highly recommend if you're looking for an urban fantasy series. So next up I got Abducted by Aliens, and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com. The author is one of my favorites. She wrote the Mead Mishap series, which is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. This is following Dorothy, who is a PhD who gets abducted by aliens and dropped off on an alien planet, and now she has a T-Rex and a lion for pets, so I'm here for this. Also, just the cover in general is so much fun, and I love that this author doesn't take their writing too seriously. All of their books have been super, super funny and lovely, and this one I'm really, really looking forward to. Next up I picked up a copy of Act Your Age, Eve Brown. This is the third book in the Brown Sisters series. This one is following Eve, who is autistic and is dealing with burnout and just trying to find something that captures her attention, and I'm here for this. I also picked up a copy of Time to Shine, a physical copy. This was one of my favorite books from last year, and I just couldn't get it out of my brain. So I just had to have a physical copy. This one I did pick up used or secondhand from a secondhand bookstore, and it's one that I would highly, highly recommend. Okay, so next up I have Like I Wanted. This is book 5 in a series, and it is following a mortician and his pastel goth boyfriend. Next up I got Loving You. This is book 4 in a newer series by Ian Lindsay about single dads. Next up I have Mind to Claim. This is a post-apocalyptic dystopian romance by Evie Olson. This is the author that wrote the North Shore Titans series, so I'm really looking forward to diving into this series. It looks really fun. Next up I have Fated Mates and When to Keep Them. This is the first book in a new urban fantasy series by A.J. Sherwood. This is following, I think, vampires or werewolves. I'm not 100% sure. Next up I have Bear Creek Father's Day. This is another book in the Bear Creek shifter romance series, and it's following a bear shifter and a human as they fall in love. I think one of them is a doctor. So next up I have Bare Knuckle Love. This is a boxing romance, or like an MMA romance by K.A. American. Next up I have Zom Rom-Com. This is a zombie apocalypse novel, urban fantasy from Olivia Dade. This was her first foray into like an urban fantasy type romance or like type genre. This was definitely not my favorite of her books. I think this got 3.5 or 4 stars. I can't remember exactly. This one was definitely not my favorite of her books. I think it was trying a little too hard to be a rom-com kind of, when it was a little bit more serious, like with a zombie apocalypse kind of, you know, happening. Next up I picked up Spellbound. This is a urban fantasy, like rivals to lovers at a magical school, and I'm so here for it. I really love this cover. It's giving a little bit of like magical horror and like haunted house vibes. I'm here for it. Next up I got Banger. This is a queer like blue collar construction worker romance. Next up I got Chasing You, which is book 5 in the same series as Loving You. Next up I have Zero Pucks. This is the first book in a hockey romance series, or para hockey romance series by Ian Lindsay, and I'm so here for this. This one has lots of disability rep in it. It's got hockey, and I'm so here for this. Next up I have Ho Ho Homicide. This is by K.A. American. This is like the Mulvaney's meets Christmas mashup, and I'm here for that. And then the last of my physical books that I have for this haul is Jurassic Park. I don't think I've talked about it on here, but me and my sister became really obsessed with Jurassic Park over the summer, and we decided we're gonna read Jurassic Park together. We're so excited to dive into this because it's a little bit of dino horror, and especially because the book is so different from the movies. So we're really looking forward to diving into this one. Next up I have Alpha Dragon's Bear. This is the 6th book in the Dragon Fates games. This one is very like a Bachelor style dating show, but like Omegaverse. And next time I have The Pretenders of Copper County. This is this is like the start of a new series for May Archer, but also ties back into the Sunday Brothers series. And I'm so excited to dive into this because it's a little bit more suspense romance. It's an FBI agent hiding in a small town to protect the person that they've been assigned to, and I'm so here for this. So next up I have Strength Check. This is a book in a series that is following a bunch of friends who play D&D together, and it's a romance kind of centered around that. Next up I have Bad at Love. This is following 2 housemates as they are like figuring out how to be roommates and that kind of thing, but also one of them is a sex worker, and the other is having a bisexual awakening, so yes please. Next up I have Ginger Snapping All the Way. This is a holiday romance. Next up I have Death, Demons, and Other Afterlife Disasters. This is following somebody who's died, and like there's a clerical error with him trying to get into heaven, so he gets sent to hell, and he just kind of hangs out with the demons for a while and figures, you know what? I like this better than being up there, so I'm gonna just stay here. Next up I have Cleric of Desire. This is part of a multi-author urban fantasy romance series that are all connected, or that are all based off tarot cards, and like they have like a central connecting point of like a magic shop. Next up I have Tempest, which is a werewolf romance, I think. It might be also a motorcycle club romance. I don't remember for sure. And then the last book that I have for this book haul is King of Hollywood. This is also part of the interconnected, or the multi-author interconnected urban fantasy series. This one is following a vampire and his psychopathic neighbor who is human, who kind of falls in love with him, with the vampire, and this is also part of the Spooky Boys series by Faye Quinn. I think this is book 3.5, so it's somewhere between books 3 and 4. So I'm very excited about this one because vampires, psychopathic killers with homicidal intentions for the HOA that they are in, so yes please. So those are the books that I've gotten in the past 6 months or so. Have you guys had any book hauls recently? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.